Hi Flosstube! I'm back with my normal regular update. Today is the 1st of January 2026, so Happy New Year. I last filmed at the end of October, so it's been roughly about 2 and a bit months since I last saw you. I hope everyone had a lovely Christmas. Those who celebrate, or if you just had some time off work, I hope you had a nice break. I still have my Christmas tree up, but I think it's coming down on Sunday. I really wanted to film and get during the festive period. I did take my tripod and my mic to my in-laws, and then I took it to my parents, but a good opportunity never arose, and I'm losing the light now, so apologies, I've had to put the big light on, but hopefully the lighting will be okay. I feel a bit really rusty. I don't know why, because I filmed the last one 2 months apart. I need to do this more regularly so that I don't get these the jitters when you film after a little while without filming. So I'm going to refer to my book because I prepped a little bit, but I've worked on 6 projects in total. I've had 4 new starts and 3 finishes. 3 of the new starts were secret stitching and presents, and those are the 3 finishes. I don't have any of them with me because they're now gifted, but I will insert a picture so you can see the finished stitch. So without further ado, I'm just going to get straight into it. I've got my tote bag, which I don't know if I've showed you this. This is a Geeky Stitching Co tote bag, which says, this is my stitching bag, and this has all my current whips in, and it just lives by the sofa at the moment. So I'm going to start with a new start, which I don't exactly know when I started it. It was at the tail end of November, because it's an Advent stitch. So if I show you, I haven't finished it. I should have finished it because obviously it's now January. But I'm nearly there. I've just got to do the Christmas Day and finish the calendar, which I should have done before the start of December. But hey ho. So, sorry, let me just refer to my book. So this is a new to me designer. I hadn't come across her before. I believe she predominantly does embroidery, and I don't know if she'd previously done this sort of thing as embroidery, but I know this is the first time she's released it as cross stitch. So it was a new, it came out in November, and it's the cross stitch advent calendar by Pick and Stitch Company. So here it is. So essentially, I bought this on Etsy. You could also get a kit. So you got the pattern for the calendar, summer 2025, and it should fit. I don't have an 8-inch hoop, but I think it's about 7.5. It should fit perfectly in an 8-inch hoop. And then you'd stitch the calendar ahead of December, and then you had about 70 in total images to choose from, and you stitched each day. And I was like sort of picking the motif depending on what I'd done that day, but it was quite tricky because I think I had a cozy. I tried to post. I was aiming to post on Instagram every day, as I filled them in and explaining why I'd chosen that image, which I did get off to a good start, and then I fell a little bit behind, sadly, but I was really enjoying doing that. So I can't remember, but if you head over to my Instagram, you'll see, I feel like this fireplace was like day 1 December was really cozy. Then I think we wore our Christmas jumpers. I can't remember what the carrot was for, but I do remember it was all going well. and we put up our tree, and then I think me and my baby got ill around the second week in December, maybe even like the late, towards the end of the first. We went to a baby class, and there was like a baby photo shoot, and then we came down with something, and we had it for 2 weeks. So in the majority of December we weren't very well, so we didn't do much. So I remember the candle one because I gave her cauliflower for the first time and the whole house stunk of cauliflower. So I had to light some candles. So not very festive, but I remember that's what that one was for. That was on the day we put up our Christmas tree. I remember the turkey was when we had our NCT parents meal, which there was meant to be about 16 of us and ended up being about 6, just because of all the flu and the cold going around, which was a shame. This one we went to go see like an illuminated trail, which was really nice. I went back to my parents for a bit, starting from here because my dad calls baby girl little pudding, so she wore her little pudding cardigan and vest to go home, and then I just put love hearts all the time. I was home with my family, and then we headed to Kieran's parents, so I've got a little gingerbread house when we headed to his home. I've got a little elf hat on Christmas Eve because I was still secret stitching up until the deadline, and then I wrapped it and I managed to make it. And then I've just started on Christmas Day, and I think I'm going to do this snowman with full coverage, not for any reason other than there was a few full coverage squares and I never got to do any, and they were really pretty, like there was a snow scene, so I'm just going to choose that for that one, because I thought about maybe using one in the last few days, but I thought it might look a bit strange as they weren't dotted about. But I really enjoyed doing this. It was really fun. I've done like a cross stitch advent before. I did a Sophie one, which was a 12-day, but you sort of stitch a bit every day. I gave myself 2 days to do each part, so it sort of lasted the whole of December. But this one was slightly different, like a proper little advent calendar, and it was just small enough that I should have been able to keep up had I had time every day, but I definitely kept up with it quite well. And there were even smaller ones, but like I just wanted to choose the ones that sort of resonated with that day. So yeah, I really enjoyed that. I want to try finish it tonight and FFO it soon, because otherwise I feel like it will just go in the pile and never get done, as it's now January. But I really enjoyed that. So just to recap the details, that was the cross stitch advent calendar by Pick and Stitch Company. I bought the pattern on Etsy. I stitched it on a 16 count in stash. I think it was a Zweigart one, sort of slightly mottled. And my needle wider, he's upside down, is by Laura at Cotton and Clay UK. I wasn't sure about this fabric, so I was trying to be savvy and not buy much. So we were doing a no buy Christmas, so I made all my presents and things. So the original pattern was on white. I didn't have a white 16 count, and I was worried that this was too rustic, but I quite like the look of it in the end. It kind of makes it more cozy than like a bright white, and I think the cream and white stand out a little bit more than they might have done on the white. But I'll just give you a close, can I go close up of all the little motifs. And I didn't use them all. So I could potentially, you could use this again for another year. You could just change the number. So I definitely recommend it if you were looking for an advent stitch next year. So that was that one. I didn't use all, I used all DMC, but not all the ones that are called for, because I didn't know, and I used the DMC substitute tool, which I'll link below, to find similar ones. And that is in my Bothy Threads project bag that says, "Beautiful things happen one stitch at a time," which my lovely friend Hannah got me. Next, in my bag that I bought in Hay&Y, which is I thought would be a perfect project bag, is Autumn Fox. This is what the final design looks like. And this is by Broderie in Colour, and it was their September and October 2025 box. I'm really sorry, I can't remember when I started it. I believe it's on a 16 count Ada. It was a kit, and I'm using all the kit materials. I will insert a picture now where I was last time. And this is where I am at now. So I think I've been working on his sort of leg here, and I'd maybe come a little bit further down. I'm still really loving the colours of this one, and although now autumn's passed and we've had Christmas, I think I will still continue to stitch on him because I'm really enjoying it, and I don't really want to put him away for another year yet. My needle reminder is by Laura at Cotton Clay UK. That's that one. Okay, the next one again is another autumn one in my bag that my mum pimped for me, which sadly one of the little pumpkins fell off, but I don't think you can tell. Oh, it's not in a hoop. I think I stole this hoop for one of the gifts. So hold on, let me I do have another one in here. So this is I'm So Glad by the Geeky Stitching Company. I'll insert a picture here where I was last time. This is a kit on 14 count Ada, and I'm using all the kit materials. And this one is nearly a finish, and again, I'm not going to put it away. I'm going to try and get it finished. And here it is. Again, I can't remember where I was, but hopefully you would have seen the picture to see the progress I've made. So I've just got to finish this leaf. It's a symmetrical design, and I've got to finish another teapot here and a pumpkin, and I'm just currently working on finishing the last mushroom. Yeah, there's that one. Sorry, I'm whizzing through, but my husband's currently watching the baby, and I don't want to be too long. Oh, that's it. That's it for the physical ones I have here. Shouldn't have gone so fast. Okay, okay, secret stitching. The first one I started and finished was called The Golden Thread by the Sweet Wing Studio. Or Sweet Wing Studio, sorry. I put a picture of it here. So I did this one on an 18 count white Ada. Again, a Swigart. And I used all DMCs. I didn't have all the called for again, so I substituted ones from my stash. And this was a 30th birthday present from my friend Hannah. I wanted to pick something that was fairly small that I could get done during naps, and I was looking for sort of for friendship themed, and I thought this was a really pretty design, which was friendship related, but also kind of stitching craft related, so we have that like as a common interest, so I thought that was quite nice that it was like a marriage of the two things. I definitely underestimated how long it would take, and I was stitching up late quite a few nights before I was going to see her so I could make the deadline. And I think like the framing was more rushed than I'd like. Since I looked at the finished pictures, I can see like it could have done with an iron from coming out of the Q-snap, but so that was that one. And then the next one I worked on was a Christmas present for my in-laws. They are both from Ireland, and I chose on Etsy Irish Blessings by Needle Treasures Nook. Yeah. Again, I wanted a small design that I was gonna be able to get done because I started this in December, and I really liked the traditional look of this one. I liked the shamrock in the centre and the thistles. I thought it was very pretty. So that I stitched on the 32 count. Murano, I believe it's called. And again, I used DM Stitch from my stash. It wasn't exactly, I didn't have all of the ones called for. I had the majority of that one, so that one was easier. I don't think I had either of the greens though, so I just sort of like picked two that like complemented the lilacs and I thought looked nice that went with the fabric. And when I wanted to have again like a traditional feel, so I used one of those flexi hoops that's like a slightly darker looking wood because I thought that complemented the design. Yeah, and I was really pleased with it. I backed it and I put on my little tag that said "Stitch with Immy" on the back, but I didn't take any pictures of that because it's been a while since I backed a hoop, so it wasn't my finest work, but I was still happy with it. And then the last secret stitch I did was for my sister-in-law who loves a matcha. She has a matcha every day and she's got her own little matcha station. There's a really nice cafe where she goes in the village that she lives in that does a really nice vanilla matcha, which I've now had a couple of times when I visited, and I do really like it. She does say though the vanilla syrup makes quite a difference, so I've not had just like a hardcore matcha yet, so I don't know if I'm a convert quite yet. And the design I picked for her was called Emotional Support Matcha. Again, I bought this on the pattern only on Etsy, and the designer is called Wabi Sabi. I thought it was and what's it called? Wabi Sabi. I can only get Wabi in my head now. Wabi Sabi. I will link her below. And I stitch it on a 14 count from stash, a 14 count Ada, and it was a very, very pale purple. So in some lights you couldn't tell it was purple, but if you put it up against white, you could see. So I thought that would be less harsh than like a bright, stark white Ada. Again, I stitched it in DMC. I didn't have all of the called for, so I just picked as best I could. Oh yes, and lastly, I cannot for the life of me find it. I do not know where it's gone, but we started watching the new season of Stranger Things, and I thought, oh, I've got a Stranger Things whip, which has not seen the light of day in, I think it was years. I can't remember now. Was it 2021 or 2? I watched the first few seasons a lot later to the party than everyone else, and I was obsessed. Like I bought the pop figurines on Vinted. I think I even bought a t-shirt. I just like was, I think at the time like I was going through something quite difficult, and I just got really absorbed into it. Like it was a nice distraction, and I started stitching Stranger Things from the Cloud Factory, and I dusted off this whip when we started the new season. I was very, very nearly finished when it went to the whip pile. I will show a picture of the finished design here. And I only had a couple of characters left, maybe Hopper and one other. So I think I took a picture when I got it out to put it on Instagram, and I may have taken another picture. If not, I will again look for it before I edit this, and I'll try and insert a picture where I am now, because I really want to finish it while we watch the second part that came out on Boxing Day. I do not know where it's gone. Hopefully I'll find it. And that was the sixth and final project I worked on over the last 2 months. Okay, and that's everything I worked on. I'm going to do a little bit of haul and a little bit of what I got from Christmas. They're both only small, but I think it's really nice to have a look at. So I signed up to the Broderie in Colour box, like the Autumn Fox, and the Winter box got delivered to me. It's all really still nicely in its packaging. I don't know if I can show you this. It's really beautifully packaged. So we were really spoiled this month. Let's see if I can find it. Yeah, this was the November-December 2025 box, and there are 3 nutcracker designs, and you get the pattern for all 3 and the fabric for all 3, and then you can choose. So I haven't started it this year, but I'd like to start it next year. I think I need to watch the Nutcracker because I don't really have much association, is that the right word, with nutcrackers. I think I should watch it and then stitch one next year. I'm not sure which one I'll stitch yet. There was definitely one that called to me. I don't think there's I think I've just got the pattern as the finished design. I think it was the one with the shield I liked the most. But we'll see. So it comes with, as I said, the fabric, the hand-dyed fabric for all 3 nutcracker designs. Really nice, bright, vibrant colours. Lovely thread. And also glittery thread. I've not used anything like this before. And a little gift. I don't think the fox one came with a gift. Little wooden nutcracker, which I should have put on my tree. You can go on my tree for a couple of days anyway before I take it down. And a tea bag. So yeah, that was really lovely. I just had too much secret stitching to start that. And then I've probably mentioned this in a previous video, but I was gifted, the whole reason I got into cross stitch is that I was gifted a Sophie Crafts kit from my friend for my birthday in 2020, I say, August 2020, and I started in September 2020, and the rest is history, as they say. And Sophie's taken an extended break. She's due to have her 3rd baby, and she's taking some time to be with her family, which I totally understand now. But she was having like a little temporarily closing down sale, and I thought, I cannot not buy something. So I didn't really need anything, and I have stitched a lot of her designs, but I thought I'd get a project bag because you can never have enough. And this is Happiness Handmade, and it's in it's like little crosses with a scissors in the center. And then I got a little kit minus the hoop, initial kit for my daughter, and I got the there's like a pink and orange variant, and then there's like a bluey lilac variant, and I got the blue and lilac one. Not sure when I'm going to stitch that. I thought maybe I could stitch it and put it on her door. And that was everything I bought in the last 2 months because we were being good this year. We weren't really buying presents because statutory pay. Thank you, government. And then there's going to be a period where there's no pay, so it's going to be interesting. So although I did get some gifts from my lovely friends, which is very kind of them, they're just down here under the tree. So the first thing I got, which is so beautiful, is this little needle book from my friend Maisie, and it's by a company called Felty. So it's really pretty flowers and a little bumblebee. We can tie together with the ribbon. It's got like a little bed. My needles. So that's beautiful, absolutely beautiful. And that's really nice. And then my friend Hannah got me this Bothy threads kit called A Mother's Love. And I don't know if you remember, I can't remember what video it was. She bought me the corresponding needle minder that for my birthday. And so this year, last year now. And yeah, I thought it was really beautiful, having just had a baby, to have a little like mother sheep and a baby sheep and a rainbow for my rainbow baby. So I think I got a little emotional when I had the needle minder, and now I've got the kit. So yeah, I was really happy with that. And then lastly, my nan gave me some money, and just before she closed for Christmas, I bought this kit from Imogen and Melissa. Not cross stitch, but an embroidery kit. It's the mini beaded felt star kit. You think you could make 5 stars, so the stars are already made up, and then you do the beading on them. I thought that'd be a nice thing to do over Christmas, which didn't actually happen, but I do want some more like baby friendly ornaments for my tree. So I don't know if you can see this glass one here. That's not gonna go on in next year. There's quite a few that I don't think are gonna be out for a few years. So I thought, oh, it'd be good to get some more wooden and felt ones, and it would be nice to make some myself. So that's what inspired that purchase. And that's everything. I don't know how long I've been waffling. 29 minutes, that's not too bad. Yeah, I really enjoy doing this. I just finding it hard to find the time at the moment. But going into this year, I really want to put more time into it. If that makes sense, I want to dedicate more time to Flosstube, even just doing like shorter little videos like Flosstube extras, just like something inspiring me at the time. So my plan is to do like a little 2026 stitchy plans video. It won't be long, but I would quite like to do whip go for the first time. Every year I think I want to do it, but I'm just like, I haven't got quite ready for it, and I think they've already drawn the numbers for January. Thank you for watching. Thank you to everyone who watched my videos in 2025 and commented. I hope that you stick around and I get to spend more time with you in 2026. I hope you have a good start to the year. Bye for now.